Yes, 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 yes. I think we are live. Okay, here we go. I'm just gonna wait and see who jumps on the call here. I love you guys. Let me just fix my camera. It's getting a little blurry. So, today we're gonna talk about money. We are gonna talk about money. Money, 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 money. Okay? I love you guys. So let's just repeat after me. Hands up in the air. For some reason, my screen just went really blurry. I don't know what it is. I'm going to try to plug in my camera a little bit. Okay, there we go. Hands up in the air. And repeat after me. I love money. I love money and money loves me. Let's say it together. Hands up. Whoever's on the call. I love money and money loves me. This is going to be our topic tonight. Okay, so on this call, we're going to go over 4 key points. So here's the deal. On the group call, I put out a post the other day, and it was like, what would you guys do if you had more income? And a lot of people commented on the post. And, some people said, I would travel, I would pay off my house, I would take this course, the program that I had, all of the above. Some people said I would pay off my debt. And so it went on. And I just see so many people getting into having money issues where they can never get out of their money issues. It's like they get into this rut and into this scarcity, frugal mindset, and it actually blocks their abundance, their future abundance. And for me, this went on. Actually, before I go into me, I want to tell you what we're going to talk about on the call. So on this call, I want to talk with you about why being frugal. And this is stuff we all talk about in my program. So if anyone's really interested, this is this shit that we break through. But why being frugal and just holding on to your money, counting, being so frugal, being so resourceful, watching every single penny, why that's actually keeping you broke. Okay? Why at some points in your healing journey, there is times in your healing journey where being frugal and resourceful is a very good skill. And it's going to be helpful and it's going to be the exact thing you need to do. And then there's going to be other times on your healing journey where being frugal and tight ass and a miser is actually going to bring you further into debt. And I'm going to go through that today. So the other thing is why your fear of failure, and this can oftentimes come from parents, adults that had hypercritical parents. Esther, I love you. It's so good to have you on the call, honey. Everyone drop a comment who's ever coming on the call tonight. I'm going to be taking questions through the whole call. So I'm so excited to chat with you guys. Pop a comment. Tell me who's here. I'd really like to know. Thanks. Red is my power color. I always say red is my money color. It's like the first chakra color, so it's really good. So why your fear of failure is robbing you from your dreams. I had a huge fear of failure. I want to share the story with you. And it was keeping me broke. It was keeping me from creating something amazing and beautiful. It was keeping me from having any of my dreams of adoption and all of the things. So this fear of failure in our life stops us from taking chances. So we're going to go into that. The third thing we're going to talk about is Why? Hi, honey. Hi, Dora. I love you. It's so good to have you out. Oh, you're on the perfect call. You're on the money call. Next time, I'm just gonna do this like session in dollar bills, just all around me. I'm just like, fuck it. Okay, so why healing childhood trauma is 90% of the equation when it comes to money. So many people focus on the doing and they take action in this whole, it's, I see very few people doing deep inner, well, not very few, you guys, I see a bunch of people here, but going and doing the deep inner work. If 80% of the equation is the deep inner work, then, you know, 50 to, it could be 50 plus percent of your time should be dedicated to that so that you can change your money mindset and your blocks. Okay, the last thing is why feeling worthy of easy and receiving is so important when it comes to manifestation. Okay, why feeling worthy and deserving of easy? So, okay, so let's get started. And I just want to share with you just briefly. I don't really want to talk about my story for a long time. I want to give you guys some really good tips to helping you on your money journey. Okay, so first of all, just with me with money for a long time, money and I had a very hot and cold relationship, meaning sometimes it was there and sometimes it wasn't. And it's like the Katy Perry song, we're hot and we're cold, we're yes and we're no, we're in and we're out, we're up and we're down. It's just, I should not quit my day job and become a singer, but yes, that's exactly what Money and I were like. My son used to say, you guys are like frenemies. That's what he calls anybody. It's like, oh, you're frenemies. So it was like that in my business where sometimes I would have money and sometimes I wouldn't. And it was never stable and it was never secure. And it always seemed like there would be times when I would just get hit. Like after my son was born, I would get nailed with like bill after bill and problem after problem. And it was just taking me into the depths, into that very place of broke and insecurity and failure and all these feelings that I so desperately did not want to feel. And whenever I would go into those feelings, it would create a sense of panic and a sense of urgency and like, I gotta work, I gotta get things done, I gotta do, and it was very, it was always from fear. It wasn't ever like, even my working was from desperation and force. And instead of allowing myself to nurture myself and go in, I would force myself to work. I would overwork myself. I would, in the beginning, I would work 70 hours a week instead of 40 hours a week. And I always wondered why the money would never stay. And especially because what would happen is I would work myself to the bone and then not be in balance. And then all the clients would start going away. Or every single time I had no money and it happened over a year where I was working from force. And no matter what I would do, I would market like 20 times out of the month. It'd be crickets. Like no clients would show up. And it wasn't until I would just like cry and be like, fuck, God, why are you against me all the time? Like it was just the feelings of working so hard and it never ever being enough. And the minute I'd surrender and let go and just nurture myself and cry and let all those feelings come up, boom, the clients would come and the money would roll in and it would be random. And so I want to give you a few tips on how I changed my money mindset, and also the laws of abundance, the laws of being in alignment, the laws of self-worth and God connection, feeling supported by life, the universe, by God. Okay? It is essential that you understand these laws, because without that, there's no amount of doing that is going to, I just feel like shaking my hair out today. There's no amount of doing that's going to get you to where you want to go. And comment below, just anyone that's on the call, like, tell me, what have you tried to bring in more money? What's your issue? Actually, I want to hear, what is your issue? What is your relationship with money? Tell me on the call. Does it come and go? Is it, do you feel guilty when you make more money? Do you feel guilty about asking for more money? Do you feel like making money isn't spiritual? What's your relationship? Okay, that would be very interesting for me to do, and then I'll comment on it. So it's so interesting. And so the first point I want to make with you, why being frugal? Oh, well, before we go into this, here's the thing. So my business this year has really exploded. And it's because I started to truly understand these principles. And I was able to grow my business from $5,000 a month to this month it's $40,000 a month. So that's 800% increase in 1 year. And the interesting thing is it's not even about the money. It's even more important than the money is the inner peace that I have despite having money. That I have this inner peace with money, and I have this inner peace without money. Meaning, when it's been gone, like when I had to go 40,000, hugely in debt, I had to create this inner peace. I had to do all this inner work, and I'm going to talk to you about that. The other thing is feeling accomplished, feeling successful, even when I wasn't achieving. That was very, very important to actually shifting my money mindset. And also, it's way better than just being attached to money, because if you're attached to money for your happiness, it can leave you. And so feeling successful regardless, feeling this sense of inner peace, feeling abundant and supported with and without money. I had to get myself to the place I was getting support even when I didn't have money. Okay, and once I did that, then all the money started to come. Because before, I was waiting for money. I was waiting for money so I could support myself. I was waiting for money so I could pay people to support me. But that's not how the universal laws work. You have to, as Neville Goddard says, you have to assume the state of the wish fulfilled. Meaning, sorry guys, I have to read your comments. Assume the state of the wish fulfilled. Meaning, and no fake in it. Okay, there's no fake in it when it comes to assuming the state. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I gotta be happy, I gotta be peaceful. No, if that's fake peace and fake happiness, it's not gonna work. You can't fuck with God, right? Okay, God knows. Okay, there's no manipulating God. Okay, he's on to you. Okay, no fucking fake feelings here. Okay. So let me see what Dora says. So Dora says, for me, money has always been steady and enjoy making money. I feel afraid to ask for a raise, and I feel like I'd like a lot more, though more. I'd like a lot more, though, for more freedom, etc. Okay, yeah. And this is the thing. So if there's ever guilt, that's what you want to write down, Dora, is this guilt for asking for more. And that has, those feelings always get connected back to the childhood. As a kid, when were you guilty for asking for more? And this is why making more money is so much more exciting than just making money. It's healing deep wounds that you've had for a fucking lifetime. And when you start to release that guilt, it's not even about the money, it's about the person you become in the process to making money. It's about feeling guilt-free. It's about feeling worthy. It's about feeling loved. It's about feeling secure. This is the joy. What does Esther say? I've always had enough to get by, but never had extra to feel comfortable in my financial situation. I have everything I need, yet I still feel that I'm coming from a place of lack. And so just when people always just make the bare minimum just to get by, what this often is, and tell me, Esther, if you had this as a kid, were your parents very resourceful? Did they feel like you should just get the necessities, or was there celebration about enjoying the luxury things? Or was there guilt if there was overspending, or maybe you had to be responsible with your money and don't spend too much? And this is the problem when, as a kid, there's all these feelings of I gotta, don't be irresponsible, don't spend too much, save. There's this, it's almost like that frugality that I wouldn't know it any other way, but yes, but more does happen once in a while. Yeah. So if you have this thing, I know as a kid, my mom was very frugal. She actually celebrated her frugality, meaning she would shop at secondhand stores, and she would there wasn't a lot of her spending money on herself and being excited about it, overspending on herself, that she was worth overspending, that she was worth the luxuries, that she was worth the finer things in life. See, if you feel guilty when you overspend, and how you know is if you go out and buy a pair of shoes and they're way more than what you thought and you feel guilty, that's telling you that inside that you feel that you don't deserve more. For me, it was I deserve this much, but anything else is too much. It's almost too it's too expensive, it's too much, it's over what I need. It was almost like when I was young, I was raised with Taoism and Buddhism, being non-attached to money and things. My mom really promoted that. So it was I can be happy without money. So money never came to me because I always felt like I could be happy without money. And so what would happen? I would make the bare minimum just to get by. And every time I tried to make more, the universe would smash me down. Something would come up. The money would leave, especially after I chased it. And what it was trying to do, it was trying to bring me down to those painful feelings that had to be honored and acknowledged and shifted, you see? But I just thought life was against me, and it was almost like proof. See, I shouldn't go after my dreams. I'm happy enough with or without money. That's the problem when life keeps hitting you down. Temporarily it robs you of those dreams. Temporarily, it robs you of those dreams so that you can eventually heal that stuff to get to your dreams. That's how it works. Okay? So I just want to say, so the first thing I wanted to chit chat about, frugality. So a lot of people, it's really interesting. So in my program, it's a big investment. It's over a $4,000 investment plus. And And it's very scary because sometimes people that come into the program, the whole point is coming in to try to make money, or it could be learning self-worth, it could be stepping into fear, it could be healing anxiety, depression, whatever it is. But it's so interesting because just when we come, like so many of the clients that come in, there's this fear because sometimes they don't have the money. And so sometimes a lot of them, in order to invest in this course, they have to go into debt. And going into debt, especially the last one of the last clients was on, she's very frugal and she'd never spend that kind of money on herself, like 5,000 whatever dollars. It'd be like, oh my God, like this is irresponsible. And the interesting thing is, if you buy that, which, you know, if you want to assume the state of the wish fulfilled, okay? If you want to manifest more money, you got to start thinking like a moneymaker. You got to start thinking like a billionaire, a millionaire, like someone who has a lot of money. And someone who has a lot of money wouldn't think twice about investing in themselves or a program because they would have the money. You know? And people that have the money tend to they take risks. They step into courage. You know? And so a lot of times we're trying to get to here, but our consciousness is still in that scarcity, fear-based, holding tight. I got to be frugal. Why would a rich person be frugal? You know, they got money coming in. They can spend it. And because they can spend it, they trust that it's going to be there. They trust that they can make it. They trust that it's going to come and that they're supported. That because they trust, it allows the flow of money in and out, in and out, in and out. That's why they always say if you want to make money, you should give. There's a rule like the 10% rule with CEOs, that you should give back 10%. And the reason for that is because when you give back, when you give out, you are trusting. You are saying there is enough money. I don't need to hold on to it. I don't need to grasp. Okay? And it's so funny because with frugality comes, it can be from a lot of deep issues. So frugality can come from, you know, if I don't have the money, or if I spend the money and it doesn't work out, I'm irresponsible. You know, that's one. I'm irresponsible. Like and it usually goes back to your parents. Oh, you're irresponsible. You know, you should do this, blah, 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 blah. That wasn't a smart decision. You know, if you had a parent, that's not a smart decision. They're always telling you where you're fucking up, what you're doing wrong. Okay? The other thing that when I had to invest $40,000 into a year-long program, it's terrifying. Oh, I'm going to read your comments in 1 second, guys. I just saw that you commented. So that put me into, it was terrifying. And there was huge fears of failure. There's a huge fear of failure. So there can be and it was failing when I brought it down to it. It was failing as a kid, being a failure and having my mom be right. Okay? So, and also because I had invested all these other programs and they didn't go right. And so I was like, oh my God, if I do this again and it doesn't work out, oh my God, I'm going to be the biggest fuck up and I'm going to have to listen to my mom every day telling me, I told you so. Other of my clients basically had this where they would have to ask their parents for money, or they would have to ask somebody for money if they fucked up. And so what the universe and other people, one last thing, is it could be this fear of something bad happening. So for example, if you put this money in and it didn't show up, then something bad is going to happen. So if you've had trauma around feeling unsafe, feeling like with me, a lot of my sexual abuse was the biggest thing blocking, the number one thing. A lot of it blocking my money issues because of lack of safety, insecurity. And so why stepping out of frugality and taking a risk, and I say this with everyone that's about to enter my program, just taking that leap of faith shifts your money mindset, your money consciousness, what you're attracting. Because when you take that leap, you have to overcome those fears. And a lot of times with the program, when people have money issues, and Dora, I think, yes, Dora says I have that belief too. So the thing is to make the leap of faith, like say there's a fear of being irresponsible. This is how I tell people how you know what the answer is. So, for example, if you want to know if you should do make an investment or do a program or something like that, you want to ask yourself this: if I had the money, would I do it? Would I take the leap if I had the money? And if you get a full body yes, and you're like, fuck yeah. And that's how your energy is. It's like, yeah, like it's like, damn. Okay? So if you had that feeling of like, yes, then that's the answer. And then this is why on calls with people, when I get on breakthrough calls and that's the answer, but then all their gremlins start to come into their head of like why they can't do it. And, there's a million reasons. I am dedicated to be an advocate for you because there is so many, your beast in your head wants the familiar. It doesn't like the unknown, and it doesn't like feeling painful fucking emotions. And so it's so important. So how I know what the answer is with people, so I don't pressure people, is like, what I do is I go into their fear. So say your fear is fear of being a failure, and you tie it back. Okay, so when did I feel like a failure as a kid? And you want to tie it back to that memory. And I know for me, like it was like I failed like first year university, and I was in music performance, and I totally fucked up. I was a drinker, and I was just into partying, and I felt, it was the first time in my life I felt I failed. Truly failed. And even my mom was also very frugal. So taking risks, she always thought it was irresponsible to take risks. And so she maintained this level of income for her whole life. She's not making $40,000 like I am a month. You know what I'm talking about? So she was trying to keep me in this frugal thing. Like, oh, they're scamming you, blah, blah, blah. They're out to take your money. All of these thoughts like, oh, you're believing these people that, aren't going to help you, and they're just trying to, make a buck. And so when I went back to that younger version of me and I asked, I started to just acknowledge that younger me, and I said, sweetheart, when I felt like a failure. And another one was when I was a drinker and I felt irresponsible all the time. So, and I talked to my little one and I said, how are you feeling? And my little one said, oh my God, I feel like a failure. I feel like no matter what I do, it's never enough. I feel like I'm incompetent. And when I tuned in and listened to what I thought, what I wanted my parents to say to me, instead of like, you should know better, they doubted I could finish university. Is she gonna make it? Nah. what I wanted my parents to say to me, I wanted them to say to me, sweetheart, make mistakes. How many mistakes can you make today? How many mistakes can you make? We're so proud of you for trying. That's what we love about you. You never give up. You just go after your goals. You just go. Fall down. Fall down. Live life, fall down. We trust that you can pick yourself back up. We trust that. You're so smart. You're so smart. You're so competent. When I really tuned in, it was like, we're proud of you. We're proud of you. I would have loved to hear from my parents, make your own decisions. I don't know what's best for you. I'm not you. Parents can only teach you what they know. So you really got to look at in your life, you got to look, whose advice are you taking? Do you want the people's advice who you're taking, do you like their life? Do you want that life? I started wondering, why am I taking the advice from my parents when they don't know how to make money? They're very good with money. They keep it like that. I learned some great skills. I went to business, commerce, all these things. But the one thing they didn't know how to do is they didn't know about the laws of abundance. They only knew about working harder, not smarter. And that was terrifying. That's why I thought making money, I didn't want to make money because I thought I'd have to work my butt off. And the reason why I wanted to make money is because I wanted easy. The whole reason why I wanted money was to be supported. When I vision my life, it's like work 4 hours a day, easy, being supported. I have a whole bunch of people, working for me and all this shit. Hi, Melissa. I love you, Melissa. Melissa's another amazing, amazing coach. Oh my gosh, we did this program together. She's amazing. I love her. So good to have you here. So amazing. You're such a inspiration. Oh my goodness. What else did you guys say? Esther says, my mom sewed our clothes, hand-me-downs. Very few gifts at Christmas. Raised us to work hard for every dollar, and it doesn't come easy. Then one of the biggest fucking lies out there is that you need to work hard to make money. And I'm gonna explain this so you understand this, because yes, there's an aspect of working hard. Actually, let's just go on to this principle, and that it doesn't come easy. And this is a fucked up. This is what keeps us poor. So first of all, okay, before I go into this, I want to share one last thing. And share with me, guys, if you feel like you have those fears. Dora says she's not being smart, irresponsible, especially if it doesn't work. Yeah, so your new thoughts need to be, how fucking irresponsible can I be today? You know what I'm saying? How fucking irresponsible? How many chances can I take? How many risks can I do? Can I move into? I'm saying if you get a full body yes, if you get a huge impulse to follow a direction and you ignore it, that's irresponsible. That's irresponsible. Not following your intuition. When I was going to try to opt out of this 40K program, I was terrified, and I decided I was almost not going to do it. I invested 5 G's into a different program, and I got this huge pain in my gut, and literally my body was forcing me to do this program because it was like it overcame me, this impulse, and it would have been stupid of me to not do it. This program literally, if you got to think like a millionaire, you got to think like a CEO. I read this book, one of the best books for money. It's what is it? It's gonna come to me. What's her name? There's swear words in it. Anyway, okay. When it comes to me, I'll think about it. But it was like investing in yourself is so important because you got to get mentors that are where you want to be. You can't do it by yourself. You got to get somebody to help you accelerate the process, if that makes sense. Um, okay, so the fear, we covered the fear of failure, we covered frugality. Um, okay, so let's talk about easy for a second. Um, so, first of all, for anybody that's not in my program, that is like, as I said, oh, yes, this was the thing I want to say. Just investing sometimes, or, and this doesn't have to be investing in a program, it could be spending money on a holiday. It could be, the last holiday I took, I think I shared this with people in the group. I went on holiday. I didn't work. I just said, fuck it, I'm having fun. I made $10,000 that week. It like literally money only comes to me now when I'm having fun. It's like anytime I'm forcing money, it doesn't come. Or forcing or working myself, overworking myself. It's like, nope. Because you have to be it to attract it. If I want it for easy, and then I have to be practicing that. I have to be practicing easy to attract easy. Which is terrifying because sometimes if you think you got to work hard, you're like, oh my God, I can't take off time from work. It won't come. I can't work 4 hours and expect money to come. Exactly. Those are the beliefs you have to get over. You have to start changing. And when people invest in this program, I think this happened with, was it Esther on the call? I can't remember. Was it you? Where like two of my clients, basically the minute they invested or they decided to invest, like the next week they got a promotion from their boss and a raise. And the same thing with my client from the UK who's in the program. The minute she decided, I'm worth it. I'm worth it. I deserve more. So you want to speak that into the universe. I deserve more. And you got to feel it. You got to connect to the inner child, not just say it. You got to heal it. You got to go down to the time where you felt like you didn't deserve more. When your dad was emotionally unavailable. And hi, Nadine. Oh my God, everybody, all my good peeps are on the call. I love you guys. Yeah, like this is the problem. Like if you had an emotionally unavailable dad that never made the effort and never gave to you, and you always had to please and you always had to do, well, you're going to have fucking money issues because you think you got to work hard to receive anything, to receive love, to receive support. So, because money can be a lot of things. Money can equal support. Money can equal abundance. Money can equal easiness, freedom. So all those things when you were young, if they were hard to receive, then your money is going to be hard to receive. So it's about the minute you step into the power. That's why people, when they make that investment in the program, like 4 or 5 Gs, they are saying, I am worth it. Sometimes for the first time in their life. And yeah, my client out of the blue, like I see it all the time. I had like the other day, I had a thing where I just stepped into easy. I was like, I want easy. And I just stopped working. And all I would do was inner child work on myself. And wouldn't you know, the money showed up. I found a painting in my basement that I bought on traveling and it was worth $3,000. I sold it for, I think, 2 Gs. It was like one thing after another. Okay, so sometimes just making that, and here's another thing too. When you make an investment in yourself, or just, it could, like, I'm going away on vacation this weekend. I'm like, fuck it. And I'm taking everybody out on vacation. I'm paying for everybody. And it's always when I step into those kind of things, even though, and sometimes even when I don't have the money and I do that kind of thing, boom, money shows up. Because you just assumed the state of the wish fulfilled. You overcame your fears. Um, so let's go on. So what I realized, the two last principles is healing childhood trauma. So people think that it's always from doing. The biggest myth is I gotta work hard to make more money, okay? What I've realized in the last year, especially, is that it's 90% inner work. And it brings up a lot of fears because inner work seems like a lack of doing, right? Anyone agree? Who's on the call? When you guys lay down and do Reiki, what do you consider that? Do you consider that productive, or do you consider that not productive? I want to hear what's your thoughts on that, okay? Because yes, Esther. See, Esther just said she invested. Esther's one of my clients in the 90-day program, which if anyone's wanting to shift their money mindset, I always say there's a link on this thing, book a breakthrough call. And for anyone that doesn't have the money but wants to invest in this program and wants to get help, wants me to help them get to the place where they can invest or attract the money, I will see you for individual sessions. My prices have gone up, but it's worth it. And sometimes it just takes a couple sessions to get you to the place where we can get you over the hump of investing. Sometimes it's breaking through the fear of going into debt. Maybe it's borrowing money. Maybe it's whatever. There's always a way. The minute you start to want it, the universe is going to conspire on your behalf. Yeah, Esther on the call says she invested in the program, she got a promotion out of the blue. Her I love it. I'm using you as an example because you're so good, and this is living proof. But yes, inner work definitely shifts the energy. So here's the thing too. Sometimes it's not that you're not working hard, it's that you're working differently. People usually think, I got to take action, like doing productive and action towards my business or whatever for the money to come in. But it could be a different type of action. The action is more calm and it's more deep, it's more inward. Because everything is a vibration. So you need to change those inner belief systems. And some of the big ones with money, like if you've had, let's just go through them, abandonment as a kid. If anyone has BPD or you have abandonment, so many of my clients have BPD, by the way, but abandonment, that's going to be, everyone's going to leave you in life, including money, men, and everything else. Okay, so the key is you got to heal your abandonment issues. You got to go into the abandonment issues. What I see all the time with people, actually, the other thing is, let's go into it, is anytime you felt unsafe and insecure, you got to heal those times. If you were bullied, if you were sexually abused, if you were physically abused, if your parents fought and were scary, if your dad had a temper, okay? That was a big one for me with shifting money, was my dad, tiptoeing around my dad, okay? So these are huge. The other ones that come with money is all the stuff. If you go through the chakras, the first chakra is abandonment. The second chakra is being unsafe. The third chakra is self-worth issues, okay? Fear of failure, fear of being unsuccessful. You gotta love the shit out of your unsuccessful self, okay? If you want to make money, you gotta realize how much fun it is being unsuccessful, because when you're unsuccessful, you don't have to work as hard. Maybe you're not taking as many clients, or It's starting to embrace that side of yourself and starting to redefine success to you. What is success to you? Maybe success is doing the inner work. Maybe your parents didn't celebrate that side of you, or the emotional side, or the crybaby side, or all of the above. Because you got to be it, as I say, to attract it. You got to feel successful now, not tomorrow. 4, this fourth chakra, receiving. Okay? Blocks to receiving. If you have problems as a kid, you were a people pleaser. You were the martyr. You were over responsible. You had selfish, narcissistic parents. All of these things are going to block your abundance. You know, you had parents that were neglectful. Okay? If you didn't receive effortlessly as a kid, I know for me, even I could never have what I wanted. Like, I would get it, but like I remember there was a peaches and cream Barbie doll that I just wanted, and my mom refused to buy it for me. And I don't know if it was a money thing or it was just she was like, my mom's such a feminist that she just was like, I don't want to buy her a Barbie doll. But it really felt like even if we would go out, that, you know, go out to stores or, you know, that we couldn't have it. That we sometimes, even though we had a lot of stuff, like I had everything I needed in terms of a lot of things, the extra. You know, sometimes with my son, he wants to buy him video games. And the other day I was like, yes, instead of saying, no, I don't have the money. I was like, fuck it. I don't want to fuck up his abundance mindset. So I was like, you want that? Let's get it. Let's get it. Like, it was something that my parents would always say no to. Like, you got to wait for Christmas. You got to wait for this. And I was like, fuck it. It was like a Lego set and this. And I'm like, let's do it. Should we get anything else? And I was like, fuck. That's what I wanted as a kid. Like, not to be spoiled rotten, but sometimes to be just to celebrate that receiving and to be like, hey, you're worth receiving. Let's do it. Let's splurge. Let's treat ourselves. And it's really important. So those are some of the blocks. 5th chakra block to money abundance. This is lack of clarity, lack of intuition, not trusting your impulses. You know, it's a battle. When you get to here, it's a battle. It's a battle between your new emerging thoughts and your parental thoughts. Okay? And it's an interesting path from the 6th to 7th chakra. Holy shit balls, man. It just requires totally surrendering and trusting in God. And that is fucking terrifying when it comes to manifesting money. And for me, I'm just going to say, I had the belief that I got to work hard. You know, I got to work hard to bring in money. And so what I'm going to read your comment in 1 sec, Esther. So what the universe did is it was fucked. I invested in this program, $40,000. There was supposed to be you're supposed to learn this marketing video that was supposed to help attract clients and everything. And literally the minute I invested in the program, the universe, thanks, Lisa. Oh, it's so good to have you on the call, Lisa. Yeah, I saw you up there. I love you guys. You're doing so great. I'm so proud of you. I'm just so proud of you. Like, it's awesome. It's awesome. All the effort that you guys are making. I feel just so grateful to be a friend with you. So, anyhow, so I invested in this program and this is what the universe does. It forces us to literally shift, or like sometimes when we get nailed with something, it's a block, it's a block, it's a block, it's a block. And we say, fuck, life is against us. Why is God not blah, blah, blah? That's the exact feeling that you want to heal. That exact feeling that says, fuck, why is God always against me? Then you have to go back to the childhood and you got to go, when did I feel like my parents were always against me? When did I feel like I never got a break? When did I feel like no matter what I did? When did I feel like I could never have what I want? That's the feeling. That's the feeling you got to heal. Your emotions are the feelings that you got to heal. The answer is in the emotions. The answer is in the emotions, okay? So when I did this, just a little, and I'm going to just show you how it works, is that when I did this program, I thought I had to do this fucking marketing video to bring in the clients, and it would be automated and they would just come. But every time I tried to do it, I couldn't do it. I would have anxiety. I ended up having anxiety for 6 months straight out of this year. 6 months. Every fucking day I would wake up, I would have anxiety in the morning, then I've learned that whenever I have anxiety, that I never ever disregard it anymore. I do not work. I might take clients, and then right after I take them, I start to go into it and figure out what the lesson is. And so I would have it in the morning, and so I would just not work. And I would literally just go into my healing, and I'd cry or do Reiki or inner child work, breath work. And if you guys are like, what the fuck is this work? Then you got to come in my program and do this work and learn this work. But I would do it 2 to 8 hours a day. And then in the evening, my mind would go, oh, now you got to get to your work. Now you got to get to your work. And in the evening, you know what would happen? And even if it would be to do a Facebook Live or something, it wouldn't allow me to do the work because I would have anxiety again. It was a fucking bitch. And so then it was like a total surrender because I just had to totally start to trust in God and trust that even without doing any marketing or any whatever, that the money was just going to show up. And what it was doing is it would make me go back. And this is, I want to hear from you guys. Do you guys trust that the money will show up? Do you know, if you don't work hard, do you trust that the money will show up? Do you only know work hard, work harder? Yeah. Oh, Esther says, I always feel that self-care has to be justified somehow. I never share what I'm doing for myself as I feel like I have to explain myself and it's not traditionally productive. Exactly. So true. This is the shit. It's like, I constantly felt that inner child work or like doing this deep work was not productive, that I was being lazy, that it was not going to get me to where I wanted to go, and that there was a time limit on how lazy I could be almost. It was like, okay, a week. Like before this, I think 45 days was my maximum of not doing any work. And the universe was like, oh, 45 days? Okay, let's do 6 months. And at 3 months, I was like, I literally would be on my group coaching call for my business program crying. And every day, and was like, I can't, like, they'd all be talking about actions they were taking towards their business and everything, and I couldn't do anything. But wasn't it funny is that it took me back to all those feelings of abandonment, all those feelings of sexual abuse. And when I tuned into it, what I needed in the moment when I felt that fear of like being unsafe, being insecure, if I would have abandoned myself for the doing, I was contributing to my feelings of being unsafe. I was not being there for my fear. I wasn't being there for my insecurity. I wasn't being there for myself, to give myself the security in the moment. So the universe made me get to the place where I could be there for myself in the moment. You see? I could be there for myself. And the minute I stepped in to be security in the moment, that I was like, fuck it. Even if, and with $40,000 in debt, I just put it all on my Visa. And it pushed me to the fucking brink. And you know what shifted my money? You know what shifted and caused me to make all this money? Was being pushed to the brink. Because going into debt that much brought up all the fucking fears. Fear of not supporting my son, fear of something bad happening, whatever. So this thing of sometimes making these I would have thought the program helped me to a degree, yes, but it was the investment that triggered all my fears. And the healing of them is what helped me shift my money mindset. Also, stepping into trust, especially when God, who has been let down by God, who has been let down by their parents, who has been let down by life. It's very hard to step into trust, step into trust when you've been let down, when you've been hurt, when you've been sexually abused. Why the fuck am I going to trust when I've been abused when I trusted? That's why God, he's a sick fuck. But he wants you to finally step into that trust again. Step into the trust. And when you finally step into the trust and you surrender and you let go, you're rewarded. Not just have manifesting, but you get rewarded in the moment. The act of stepping into trust is the first reward. Trusting no matter what. Inner peace regardless. Inner peace regardless of money. That's even more powerful than money. Then the money's just the cherry on the fucking sundae. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. Anyhow, so it's so funny. And that's why money for me always showed up when I started just to have fun, heal myself, have fun, have easy, all of these things. And listen to my inner self. Last thing. Esther says, I can honestly say I do not trust. Yes, because I've never had that mindset before. I want to trust and I'm looking to shift to a place of trust. Yes. And it's very hard. And your whole body is going to rebel against trusting. And it's going to be a slow process because it takes, it's kind of like reestablishing trust in partnerships or in relationships. It's like you do a little, you surrender a little, and then maybe something positive happens. And you go, oh, okay. I used to be that with money. Whenever I surrendered, money would come. Interesting. Okay. I'd go on holiday and then money would surface. Or I would do the inner work. I would lie down. I used to say, the more I do Reiki, the richer I get. Which is true. I would lie down and do nothing. And it wouldn't come, my money wouldn't come through the pathways that I thought. I'll give you a funny thing, and you guys are not going to believe this. I do Facebook. Out of Facebook ads, I've spent $12,000 this year on Facebook ads. From people that I don't know, not one person has signed up for my program. And it's interesting. It's interesting because the way that they're coming to me is in all these different ways, like referrals, this, that. Ways that my mind wouldn't wrap around it happening. And there's this thing that our mind, it's like that's the shift from the 6 to 7 chakra is like there's always this thing, it has to be, there's this, it's breaking through this logical mind, this mind that says, oh, if I do this, this is how the money is going to come. But when you surrender and let go and trust and just meet your needs in the moment, you choose yourself in the moment. You choose yourself. You say, fuck the money. Fuck the money. Fuck the debt. What do I need now? Do I need to relax? Do I need to not work? Do I need to cancel, not go to work today? Do I need to take a leave of absence from work? So when you start to choose yourself versus choose money, when you start to choose yourself, every moment, every second, every fucking day, you put yourself first. I had to, that's when the money shows up. That's when the money shows up. And for anyone that's on this call and you're not in the program, book a breakthrough call with me. This is what we do in the program. This is why I fucking love inner child work. All of these programs focus on the doing. I paid 40 fucking G's, okay? They don't even do the deep inner work in this program that I belong to. They don't do it. I gotta do it all outside the program. And it's the number one thing that's going to bring you abundance. The number one thing. So, I love you guys so much. You're so cute, Melissa. I know, I felt like I was like, oh my God, I just need to preach it today. I just need to preach. Boom. So I love you guys so much. For anybody that is interested in the program, if you book a breakthrough call with me, in this program, we do tons of deep work. I think there's 11 sessions, counseling sessions. It's super just intense. And then there's also, what else is there? Group sessions, 9 to 18 group sessions a month. There is modules. There is everything to help you really shift through these blocks that are, stopping you. And the coolest thing, even me with taking my business, say from 5,000 to 40,000 a month, the money it's been fun, but I love loving money now. It's really fun. But the interesting thing is the community that I created in the process. It's the community with my clients. It's the community with you guys. It's the relationships. It's the, supporting staff, actually hiring people and giving them a place of employment that feels empowering. And so what I think it's so important to realize is, just for all those that are going on this call, is why do you want to make the money? That's the biggest question. Why do you guys want to make the money? Because whatever that is, that's what you want to bring into the present moment. For me, I wanted to bring in ease, support, and joy and fun. So I had to start creating ease, support, and fun in the moment. And the more ease, support, and fun I had in the moment, the more the abundance came. So I don't know, for anyone on the last peeps on the call, Lisa, Esther, Melissa, I love you guys. Dora, you guys are incredible. And you are so gonna do this. You're gonna fucking do this. I always say, burn your bridges behind you and just go for it. You can never fail if you never give up. So amazing to have you here. I'm gonna wrap it up because I just realized my son is coming home. I just had the weekend to myself, and I just booked a vacation, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do this. I love you guys. Have an amazing evening, and I will talk to you all soon. Let's do the money, 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 money. Actually, we should all put our hands up and just say together, I deserve easy. I deserve easy. I deserve fun. I deserve, I deserve to have my dreams, you know? So, peace. I love you guys. Love you, Melissa. Love you. Oh, Nadine. Yes, love you, Nadine. You're the best. It's so good to have you here. Oh my God, such a pleasure. And I will see you guys. I'm going to try to do a couple more lives this week. If I go long periods of time without lives, it's just because I'm just laying on the couch. Just okay. I love you guys. Have an amazing day. Pop comments in the chat too. And everybody, if you guys can start just sharing your money stories in the group, share what's working and what's not, and maybe we'll have some advice for all of you. If you're in my Breakdown to Breakthrough program, share the comments in the mastermind group because the coaches are always going to give you real juicy tips all the time. And for anyone else, we can figure out how to get steps to get there. I love you. Bye, guys.